So, what about some cliffhangers, huh? You guys like cliffhangers? If not, then you've come to the wrong review. Because this 2005 animation by Pink Pineapple, shout out to them by the way, has one episode, 25 minutes, and it's done. That's it. And it ends on the worst cliffhanger too, because it ends on like a cliffhanger where it's like 3 more episodes or 4 more episodes of content remaining. But I watched it and I don't want to waste this useless knowledge in my head. So here we are, reviewing it. What's up guys, Evan of 47 and welcome to Watch for Plus Camera Coming Your Way. Today, we are following the adventure of Princess Kurama and her running away from the Gensai. Who was the Gensai? Oh, it's this old guy right here. Yeah, the Gensai is this old guy right here who's basically trying to summon the man of Gauss who has the ability to control souls at whim. The reason why he needs Princess Kurama, who's on the run right now, to fully commit to his service is because Kurama has the ability to grant wishes on the full moon, and her wish doesn't have to be what she truly desires, it just be what she says, and it'll happen. And the whole point of this is basically having the man of Gauss impregnate a bunch of women under Gensai, and Gensai will have a bunch of basically servants that control people at his own whim, and he can use that with his massive power and political scale as well to rule the world essentially. Like that's his whole plan. I have to flesh in some shit on the dot here and there as I further theorize what I think the plot is going to be, but that is the whole point there. Now we start off with Kurama just dipping out the massive castle above a cliff for some reason, like it's some Scooby-Doo villain, and she's running with Kaede and Momoko, and they're being chased by Rikudoshu. They're an elite ninja group working for Gensai to capture Kurama, doing the plan that I just mentioned earlier. Kurama back in the corner after Kaede and Momoka get their cheeks clapped. Metaphorically, not yet though. That literally doesn't happen yet. It does happen, but not at this moment. Of course, hilarity ensues, and for some odd reason, there's this moment here where Kaede just whips out her jug and it starts just squirting everywhere, and her milk has enough velocity and force to decapitate ninjas following her. That's insane. It's like a mortality type of absurdism in this type of media, which is hilarious to me. And when they're down and out, Kurama takes the option of either bending to the Rikudoshu, the people who look like the Demon Slayer evil villain core, or just kill herself. And she decides to do a backflip off of a cliff or looking at the full moon, and it has this cellophane red-blue 3D effect filter on it, which for some reason is supposed to entail her hallucinating a wish, and her wish is to summon the one thing she's been told not to summon, because if she summons this one guy, then Gensai's whole plan is fully actualized, because that's all Gensai wanted from her, is to summon this one particular guy. So the last thing you should be doing when you wanted to kill yourself to get away from summoning this guy is to, so she summons him, right? And we couldn't find out that Daisuke is the man of Gauss who is in the current daytime, around 2000 or so, or to be accurate, 2005. And he's in the midst of a date. And right when he's about to get to it, boom, sucked in the next dimension. And now he's in the 1400s. And now they're explaining what the man of Gauss does. And they're also showing who Gensai is as well. And they're trying to make this as evil and as fully villainous as it truly is, which is getting a man to impregnate like 7 women to then have those women give birth and then basically raise those kids, which is crazy to me because this old man thought of this shit. Unless he's immortal, he's not going to see his full actual plan come to realization, because I assume they could only activate the power when they're fully conscious of their own bodies. And giving anime logic its most leeway, they become fully conscious at 11 or 12 years old, right? So your whole plan to control the world is to have a random guy from 500 years in the future to copulate with your maids or slaves, which probably is a better way to describe what the hell's going on in this situation here. And then 10 years down the line, have their children under your control. What if the kids just don't listen to you? What if they just kill you? What if they outlive you? What if they find out your plans and run away? Like, there's so many things wrong with this villain's plan. Like, and he's like 90,000 years old as well. Like it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it only would make sense if the moment the man of Gauss co-plays with a woman that is of a certain bloodline, it would create or evolve the said woman or some shit like that, because then in turn he can immediately control a massively powerful figure. But because it's solely based on impregnating someone and raising that child, you are just waiting to raise your own. It makes no sense. Like, it just literally boggles my mind. How did you this up so? Anyway, so we're at that scene now And come to find out that the clapping of cheeks that I mentioned earlier in a metaphorical sense, it literally does happen. But I feel like this show is definitely more along of a watch of entertainment rather than actually trying to grasp the logic. Because again, grasping the logic, like I just mentioned before, the whole plot makes no sense. Also as well, if the whole plot is based off summoning this man, who is 500 years in the future, how come you just can't find his previous ancestors? Because he wouldn't have existed unless he had ancestors in the 1400s. Because how did you hear about him in the first? After that happens, we now have Kurama, Kaede, Momoko running to the castle where Daisuke, aka the man of Gasu, is in a massive voyeuristic fantasy. He's just going at it nonstop, and Gensai's watching all happen, like, yes, my plans are finally gonna come to fruition. And the show ends with, oh no, this is the worst thing that could have possibly happened. Everything that my father told me not to do, I literally did, even though the only other option was killing myself, which I was going to fully commit to anyway. So I actually picked the worst of both possible options. And again, I just mentioned this is a cliffhanger. So do you want to get cucked when you watch the show? Probably not, right? But at the same time, it's funny as hell to watch. So go ahead and enjoy yourself, because why not? All right, guys, I don't have an outro, but if I did, wouldn't matter because don't make fun of the video. Good night. I don't know what the yelling was about, but I'm glad it's over. See ya.
Boys are mad, and they all keep it anger and they mad. Cause the pole makes you shatter, never the sadder. Cause the cheese that I have, I'm all